Happy Diwali to you all. Diwali is festival of light. Now the question starts, what is light? Do you have any idea what is light? You celebrate the festival of light, but you don't know anything about the light. You see, just you open your eye, you see the sun shining every morning and you see the light. What is light? Light is a form of energy which enable us to see the different objects around us, or you can say the light is a form of energy which enables the sensation of vision to your eyes. Eyes are the simply tools which help us to see the objects, but the light is the very important, and without source, the light is not there, then you can never see. Now the question that since we are studying the concept of the light related to the ICSC standard 9 or 10 portions, that's why we will focus more into the concept rather than going here and there and discussing some vague things about the light which are not part of the syllabus anymore. Now light says that light is a form of energy which enables us to see different objects. Light have got the sources. Sources are the natural sources, some man-made sources. Natural sources like the sun, stars, fireflies, and the man-made sources are the lamp, candles, or you can say the fire anyway coming from the carbon sources. All these are called the sources of light. Now the geometrical propagation of light, since we are discussing the movement of the light, the propagation of the light, geometrical propagation of the light suggests that light always travels in a straight line. This is called the ray of light. Ray of light is the path of the light is called the ray of light. Now many rays of light together are called as the beam of light. The beam of light is a collection of many rays of light, or the many pathways of the light. They are called the beam of light. Beam of light can be taken normally in the three different types. One is called the parallel beam. These are called the parallel beams. It's supposed like this, you can consider the cases where the source is assumed to be infinite distance away. This is called the parallel beam. Next is convergent beam. Convergent beam means the ray of light coming from different directions converge or meet at a point. That is called the convergence of light. And one is called the divergence of the light. The beam of light diverging from the source. Normally this is the case where the candle burns and the light spreads in all directions. That is called diverging from the source. Now light, since our source involves the phenomena of the light, one such phenomena is called the reflection of light. The reflection of light. The reflection of light just might have been that when a ray of light encounters a change in medium, a part of it reflects back to the original medium. This phenomena is called as reflection of light. It is just like when you are hitting a ball with a ball on a wall, then the ball returns back. Suppose if the ball is not there, then the ball will keep on going in the direction of the throw. But when the ball is there, then the wall encounters the ball, then the ball returns from the wall. This is called as a reflection of light. Same way, whenever a ray of light, suppose a ray of light falls on a mirror, then it gets reflected. There are some scientific experiments have been verified, and the laws of reflection have been found. Laws of reflection says that, number one law, that the incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal all lie in the same plane. This is the first law. Now what does this mean? Plane means if you see around this is the sphere, and if you cut this sphere in the different directions, you get different planes. So this palm is a plane, this tabletop is a plane, this top of the book is a plane, the page of the paper is also a plane. So law of reflection means when a ray of light, suppose this is my mirror, this line means, now this is called the incident ray. When the incident ray comes and hits the mirror at this point, suppose it's O, and then it reflects back in this direction, this is called the incident ray. Here you draw a line perpendicular to the surface of the mirror at the point O. This is called the normal. Some authors also call normal ray, however this is not a ray, this is just a normal. This AOB. AO is incident ray, OB is reflected ray, ON is the normal at the point of incidence. I is the angle of incidence. Angle of incidence is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. Angle of reflection is the angle between the normal and the reflected ray. So law of reflection says that this all AO incident ray, ON normal, and OB reflected ray all lie on the same plane. You can see these are so properly placed on the paper, so it is they are in the same plane. Second is that angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. Now angle of incidence, angle of reflections, now there are two kind of reflections, regular and irregular reflections. Whenever ray of light, you might have seen surroundings, whenever ray of light falls from the sun to the different sources like the earth, leaves, stones, water, then depending on the smoothness or the nature of the surface, the regular reflections or the irregular reflection can happen. If the ray of light falls on a smooth surface, then the regular reflections, in general terms we can say the regular reflections are those reflections where the laws of reflections are properly obeyed, and irregular reflections are also called as diffuse reflections where laws of reflections are not exactly obeyed. Means angle of incidence is not equal to angle of reflections. Rays gets distracted or diffracted in different directions. This is called the irregular reflections. I think you might have understood this basic idea of the reflections. Or if you want to see more such videos, then subscribe to us. We are just trying our best to give some information about curriculums related to the ICSE or different kind of academies. Thank you very much.